بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today we have a new lesson for second secondary grade, second semester, English subject 1B, vocabulary and grammar traveler 4. This lesson is prepared by Mr. Muhammad al-Bahiri and presented by Muhammad al-Thaymin. Today we will learn what is collection. We will identify how to make a collection consists of verb plus noun. We will distinguish among commonly confused words. Also, we will distinguish between defining and non-defining clauses. And finally, we will join two sentences using who, which, that, where, when, and whose. Warm up. What is a collection? Today we are going to study collections. What is a collection? Here are examples of collections. Get a certificate. Get a mark. Get a grant. So what is a collection? A collection refers to two words or more that often go together. There are several different types of collections. Collections can be adjective plus noun, verb plus noun, and so on. So they are two words or more than two words, 3 words, 4 words. They come together. Get a certificate, get a mark, get a grant. Get is a verb and those are nouns. A certificate, a mark, a grant, nouns. So this is an example of verb plus noun. While we learn collections, your language will be more natural and more easily understood. You will have alternative and richer ways of expressing yourself. It is easier for our brains to remember and use language in chunks or blocks rather than as single words. Examples of verb plus noun. The prisoner was hanged for committing murder. I always try to do my homework in the morning after making my bed. He has been asked to give a presentation about his work. Exercise. Match the words with the nouns in the box to form collections. We have an experiment, a mark, a project, a certificate, a class, a mistake, progress, a grant, an exam, homework, a language, a test, a course, an effort, and a lesson. I want you to match these verbs with these nouns. For example, get, we can say, get a certificate, get a mark, get a grant. Get a certificate. Here. Get a mark. Get a grant. So these nouns comes with get. Make. Can we say make an experiment, or make a project, or make a class, or make a mistake, make a progress, make an exam, make homework, make a language, a test, a course, an effort, a lesson, or do, or take, or study? With make, what can we choose? Wonderful trying. Make a mistake and effort progress. Make a mistake, progress, and effort. What about do? Now you've got it. Do an experiment. Do homework. Do a course. Do a project. Yes. Do an experiment. Do homework. Do a course. Do a project. We still have a class, an exam, a language, a test, and a lesson. Take. Can you say take a class? Yes. Can you say take a language? Or take a test? Take a lesson? Take an exam? Good job, good job. Take a class, take an exam, take a course, take a test, take a lesson, take a certificate, take a grant. So we can say get a grant and take a grant. Grant can come with both get and take. A certificate can come with get and take. And so on. What about study? I think that you have smart answer. Study a language. Study a language. Complete the sentences using the words in the box. Teacher, professor, instructor. These words are easily confused. You can confuse between teacher, professor, and instructor. The teacher, professor, or instructor I liked best in school was Mr. Al-Harbi. He taught us science. So, in school. In school, we have teacher. The teacher I liked best in school was Mr. Harbi. My driving says that I'm making progress, so I think I'll be able to get my driving license soon. So, driving professor or instructor? Of course, instructor. Julia's father is a or an professor of economics at University of Michigan. He is a professor because he is at the university. Good job. Now, we have other three confusing words. Subject, lesson, course. I have Spanish at 4, but we can meet anytime after 5 if you're free then. Maths is Dan's favorite what? Subject, lesson, or course, and he always gets good marks. Saif is doing A in business management this year. Let's think about number 4. I have Spanish what? Smart answer. Listen. Yes. I have Spanish. Listen. Number 5. Dan's favorite subject. Fantastic. I think that you're doing well. Number 6. Saif is doing a course in business management this year. you're on your way. Now we are going to move to another interesting subject, which is relative clauses. Who, that refers to people. They caught the man who or that spied for China. So we can say they caught the man who spied for China, or they caught the man that spied for China. Which and that refers to objects. Which and that refers to objects. Example, I lost the map which she gave me, or I lost the map that she gave me. Look, some students may get confused with she here. He can say that she is a person. Why don't we use who? Because she is a human. Actually, we look for the word comes before the relative clause. Man here is among the people. Map is an object. So we are looking for the thing that is before the relative clause. Is it people, objects, or possessor? Who's referred to position? She complains to the man whose dog bit her. A man here, although he is like the man here, but here he is the possessor. He possesses a dog. This dog is for the man, so we used whose. When refers to a moment in time. For example, Eid al-Fitr is a day when people are happy. A day here. A day is time, so we used when. Where refers to particular place. We visited the house where our father was born. Because it is a place, we used where. Note, in non-defining sentences, the word that cannot replace who or which. Here, we can use that here, and you can use that here, but in these sentences, we cannot use that. Here, who only, without that. Which only, without that. Why? Because this is non-defining sentence. What is non-defining clause? This is non-defining clause, who was a famous female spy. This clause gives us extra information about Mata Hari. It gives us extra information about the noun phrase here. Here, they caught the man who spied for China, or that spied for China. But here, it gives us more information about the person who we are talking about. Also, here, Buckingham Palace, which is in London. This is also non-defining sentence or non-defining clause. It gives us extra information about the noun phrase Buckingham Palace, so we cannot use that here. Also, another thing, here we have comma, another comma, and another comma. But we have commas it means that this is non-defining sentence, so we cannot use that. In this sentence we don't have commas, so we can use either who or that. Defining and non-defining clauses. We will explain it here more. Here is a difference in meaning between defining and non-defining clauses that depends on the presence or absence of the comma. They have 2 sons who are doctors. Here we don't have commas. The meaning is that there are more sons in the family. Example, they have 2 sons who are doctors and 1 who is an architect. So without commas we may have more than what's mentioned. Another example for a non-defining clause. They have 2 sons who are doctors. Here we have a comma. The meaning is that there are no more sons in the family. Because we have comma, we mean that there are no more sons, and this clause gives us extra information about the noun phrase here. Here we may have more than sons in the first sentence. Now join the sentences using who, which, whose, that, or where. My colleague is from Wales. He plays tennis every weekend. Try to use one of these relative clauses to join the sentences here. Number 1, my colleague is from Wales. What can you say? My colleague who is from Wales plays tennis every weekend. My colleague who is from Wales plays tennis every weekend. Number 2, this is Mr. Carter. His son won a college scholarship. Think about the answer here. This is Mr. Carter. His son won a college scholarship. Beautiful work. This is Mr. Carter, whose son won a college scholarship. So here we use whose because this son is for Mr. Carter. Okay, number 3. His book was published last year. It got on the bestseller list. We want you to use one of these: who, which, whose, that, or where. His book was published last year. It got on the bestseller list. I knew you could do it. His book, which was published last year. His book, which was published last year, got on the bestseller list. Number 4. My cousin is moving to New York. He will study fine arts there. That's incredible! My cousin is moving to New York, where he will study fine arts. And now we have an assessment from workbook. Now complete the sentences with who, which, that, whose, where, or when. I spoke to Jeff Brown, comma, blank, happens to be an expert in career counseling. Jeff Brown is a person, so we can use either who or that, but we have comma here. If we have comma, so this clause we call it non-defining clause. So we use only who. Number 2, the man my father was speaking to is an old professor of his. The man, we can use what? What can you use here? Bravo! Who or that? Who or that? My father was speaking to is an old professor of his. Number 3, the university I completed my degree is best known for its fine art courses. The university what? Because it is a place, what can we use? Beautiful work. Where? Can use where. Number 4, the job description I was given did not appeal to me. The job description. Which or that? If your answer is which or that, so you are unique student. Why? Because this is a thing, and we use either which or that with things. Number 5, my sister's son grades were excellent. So grades are for the son. Position. Was awarded a scholarship at Oxford University. So my sister's son, great. Whose? My sister's son, whose grades were excellent. There was a time learning for languages was not so important. There was a time. Time. What's the answer here? That's incredible. When? Excellent answers. Number 7. The man carried out the interview was graduate from Harvard Business College. The man, here we don't have commas, so we use either what or what. You did it. Either who or that. Either who or that. Number 8. The whole. The careers exhibition took place was huge. The whole where. The whole where. Good job. This is the end of our today's lesson. Now we are going to revise what we have studied today. This is the summary of what we have learned. Today we studied the meaning of collection. We said collection refers to two words or more that often go together. We said two words or more that often go together. There are several different types of collection. Collections can be adjective plus noun, verb plus noun, and so on. We said here is a difference in meaning between defining and non-defining clauses that depends on a presence or absence of the comma. They have two sons who are doctors. Defining clause, the meaning is that there are more sons in the family. Example, they have two sons who are doctors and one who is an architect. Compare, they have two sons who are doctors. Non-defining clause. The meaning is that there are no more sons in the family. We said for pronouns for people we use who, places, where, time, when, things or ideas, which, position, whose. And we studied words easily confused, like teacher, professor, instructor, subject, lesson, and course. These are our today's references and resources. And for more information and listen, visit our website or contact our website account or call us on our free phone. Thank you for listening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.